is our marquee event of the year. It's our season-ending Beat the Champ Invitational. We are going to crown a champion, and here are the four guys. One of them is going to be that guy that raises the Healy Miller Trophy. Number 1 seed Justin Wyman. Number 2 seed Sam Dewitt III. Number 3 seed Chris Weiler. Number 4 seed CJ Buttery. Hi everybody, welcome to Transit Lanes in Williamsville, New York. I'm Paul Peck with Buffalo Bowling Hall of Famer Sue Nawojski. It's the best of the best, and it's going to be fun to watch these four guys battle for our biggest payday of the year and the chance to raise that trophy.
That's right, and they raised the stakes by making the conditions a little tougher, and also they bowled a different format, round robin with bonus points, very much like the PBA, so they really got put through the ringer here to make it here today.
We had almost 50 of our bowlers who appeared on the show this year eligible. Of those 50, these are the four guys that qualified for the best, so we really do have our best Beat the Champ bowlers, and we're going to find out which one of them is really the best. So let us get things started. It's the Beat the Champ Invitational. Let's get rolling. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. By Latina Boulevard Foods, your favorite family in food distribution. And by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to gobowlingnewyork.com to find a center near you. First match on our way to crowning a champion is CJ Buttery and Chris Weiler. We are off and rolling on the Beat the Champ Invitational. Sue, tell everybody and reiterate what we just touched on briefly, how these guys get here and how these are the four that survived.
Sure, they have 6 games of qualifying, and then they did the cut and did a round robin. So you bowl 8, you went to the top 8. Those 8 people bowled each other, and they bowled match play for bonus pins. So whoever won got 30 extra pins. Whoever, if you tied, it was 15-15. But that's a really good way to gain more pins, and you know, you can either catch up in a hurry or you can run away from the field. But it's a true test of your bowling ability, and it's very PBA-esque. That's how they do it out there for the majors.
Chris Weiler looking for the spare here in frame 1. He's got it. So we had 81 bowlers eligible for this. Anybody that appeared on the show during season 2 or in the summer events was eligible. And of those 81, 47 of them attempted to qualify to pare down to the 4 spots we had here. 14 games of qualifying and 3 pins separated the top 3.
And think about how close that is. That's including 30 pins bonus. So it was only 3 pins from first to third.
Scoring and stats for the Beat the Champ Invitational are powered by Say Cheese Pizzeria and Comic Cafe. Award-winning pizza and delicious food. And CJ Buttery, who was only on a couple of shows. So again, you only need to be on 1 show to be eligible. CJ was only on 2, and that came back at Island Lanes earlier on in the year. Chris Weiler was on 3 shows to be eligible to qualify. And the dreaded 7-10 split staring down CJ Buttery.
On this condition, this is not that odd of a leave, because you're really trying to tame down fresh back ends, which means you're using urethane. You're slowing down the back ends, so the ball's not really hitting as hard. And so a leave like that is just really the result of a ball that's not driving that hard, but you're trying to contain that back end, so it really can easily happen.
All right, so as it relates to the oil pattern, we sent the high-tech bowling people into the laboratory to create a special oil pattern just for this Beat the Champ Invitational. Tell everybody a little bit about it.
Right. Well, they wanted to be a little more difficult to really challenge the best of the best, and it's 39 feet, which is the same as it was really the last 3 weeks as far as distance goes. That's a relatively short pattern, which means you're going to have a lot of dry in the back end. But the oil to dry ratio is 3.28 to 1, which means it's really getting towards flat. 1 to 1 is completely flat. 12 to 1 is what you're bowling on in league, so you can really get an idea of how flat this pattern is, which means if you miss in, the ball's going to hook.
Well, Chris Weiler didn't miss in or out. He got it perfectly where he needed it to be for back-to-back strikes for the 52-year-old pro shop owner from Cheektowaga, New York, Chris Weiler.
Right, and in this type of situation, the light hit actually might give the best carry percentage because that swisher hit is, and that one was high flush and beautiful, kicked out the 10. That was a great shot right there. But you really are just trying to control the back ends, and that's why you see a lot of urethane on a fresh shot like this with 39 feet of oil and then, dry back ends.
Well, so C.J. Buttery, after that 7-10 split in the open frame, comes right back with another strike. 19 years old from Cheektowaga, New York. A pharmacy tech is the occupation. Two-handed bowler, as you can clearly see. So a disparate styles here in this match between Weiler and Buttery. So what's the challenge of this oil pattern? We got to come up with a name, right? If we created this one special for just this show, we got to come up with a cool name for it. But what's the challenge, or what are you going to think you're going to see when it starts to bite back on guys?
Well, the challenge is shot making, because this isn't going to be a forgiving pattern where you're going to be able to miss right, miss left. I mean, as you can see, the pattern pushes them all to the right, which is where they're going to start. And it's still about shot making. If you miss in, the ball's going to run away left on you. If you miss out is the gutter. So you don't want to do that. So the most accurate people are the ones that are going to be here today, and they're going to have to continue that accuracy here on the show.
Skirting with the edge there was Chris Weiler,
that was a
but it didn't
great
matter.
view of how close to the gutter the ball actually gets. Now we'll look at it the other way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That first view was amazing. You saw that thing was
You got a
about
really good indication,
3/4 of its width over the gutter.
Now, to say, too, that Chris really does, like, his natural game is to play in and hook the ball. So when we've seen Chris before, we've generally seen him, way deeper than that, opening up the lane. He is a power player. He does like to hook the ball. But kudos to him because he's playing the lanes the way they need to be played, so adaptable. And with his swing, this isn't really going to be his favorite shot, and yet he made it to the show doing this. So that just is a testimony to how well he bowled.
Yeah, and we know we've had Chris on our show before. He operates the pro shop at the Town Edge Bowling Center, so we've always seen, I think we've seen him on both of our shows over the last 2 years there, but we have also seen him here. He made the show last year here at Transit, so he's familiar with the turf here, so to speak.
And honestly, I think he tends to make the show on the tougher conditions. It's not the house shots we've really seen him on. We've seen him on the sports shots. So that in itself is its own challenge.
So C.J. Buttery has a interesting little piece of Beat the Champ lore through our first 2 seasons. He bowled a 289 in season 1 at the Tonawanda Bowling Center, which is the highest non-300 score that we have had on the show. We had a 288 this season, and of course Stephen Conklin threw a 300 game in our first season, which coincidentally enough was against one of the guys that we have on the show here today.
So watch this right here. We're going to look at that 1-3 being very tight again. When you see that 1-3 set up very close together, you're going to tend to see some 10 pins. And it's almost like a characteristic of, the way the pin setters set the pins down. You want to look for the 1 and the 5 to be, directly in line. If the 3 is tucked in too close to the 1, it really is a recipe for a ring 10. So as a bowler, if you see the 1 and 3 tucked in real close together, and you don't want to leave a 10 pin, it might be time for a re-rack.
So you're saying based on that one, that could have very easily been a re-rack. Didn't bother C.J. Buttery there. It's a strike in the 6th frame. We are off and rolling on the Beat the Champ Invitational. Come on back.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
Yeah, bowling. Such a well-oiled machine of mischief for the masses. The Egyptians made bowling the sport of pharaohs, and yet bowling said, no, I am for him, for her, even that guy. Yeah, don't do that. You light the stage for us. You bring the encouragement, and all you ask in return? What's your shoe size? Don't go boring. Go bowling.
Sixth frame now for Chris Weiler. 3 strikes and 2 spares in the first 5. He has a 244 average in the 2 leagues that he bowls in right now. That one stayed right, never hooked.
Just a testimony to how difficult these lanes really are. And this one just gets up the boards a little too much and goes past the break point, never makes a turn.
So a little work to do here on this 6th frame spare pickup for Chris Weiler. 41 career 300 games, a high 831 series for Chris Weiler. Oh.
You know, relatively speaking, that is an easy spare, but there is no easy spare on this type of condition because the middle of the lane plays differently. You can't count on that hold in the middle of the lane, which makes every multiple pin spare very difficult.
So if you're going to leave spares, leave those corner ones.
The single pin
easier?
spares are going to be the easiest ones to make. And truthfully, anything in the middle of the lane, you know, that you would historically sort of line up off of your strike shot just doesn't work. It's easier to use a spare ball on conditions like this where the middles are taking off on you. Great
Much
recovery,
better
though.
bounce back. So both guys have open frames in this match, but it's Chris Weiler that's been doing a little more striking, and that's what CJ Buttery, as he gets ready for the 7th frame, has to know.
Right. This is where when you're giving an opportunity, you have to jump on it. So he's been given the opportunity to close this gap to about 8 pins. And so this is going to make or break him right here. And he got quick. You saw him kind of come off his feet there at the line. It's just a sign that his feet got fast.
9 career 300 games and a high 823 series for CJ Buttery, who bowled in high school at Sweet Home High School here in the Western New York area. 2024 Youth Bowler of the Year in Buffalo. And that's a spare pickup in the 7th frame for CJ Buttery.
Again, we're talking about so many youthful bowlers that we've seen, and they're
thinking
still
the same
getting
thing.
experience, right?
Yeah,
So
I was just thinking he's representing the under 25
Yeah.
crowd here at the Beat the Champ Invitational, which has been the storyline of our 2nd season. More under 25 college and high school bowlers than we might have ever imagined, and than we certainly had in the first year. And CJ's kind of carrying that flag for that group right now. He didn't like it. So CJ Buttery for the 8th frame right now. Would love to run some strikes together here and put some pressure on Chris Weiler. He'll get the spare in the 8th frame and then watch as Chris Weiler might make all that a moot point.
Yeah, he does have a strike up, so he could, you know, kind of put the pedal down to the metal here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Chris and Justin Wyman are carrying the flag for the Pro Shop operators.
There you go.
Here on our Beat the Champ Invitational. And then Sam Dewitt, who we're going to see in the next match, he's kind of the regional tour, will go anywhere, bowl anywhere kind of guy. So last year at the Beat the Champ Invitational, John McDowell, Xander Copenhaver, Ty Ingles, and Dave Kirsch were our 4 bowlers, and it wound up being Ty Ingles beating Dave Kirsch in our championship to claim the first Beat the Champ Invitational and the first guy to hold that Healy Miller trophy. So we'll see which one of these guys is going to be the one to do it here today and take home our record purse of $2,250. Chris Weiler with an 8th frame spare.
So it's kind of no surprise that these people rise to the top that are pro shop operators, because it brings an innate ability to know your equipment. And I think technology is just one of those things that once you get past the level of fundamentals and, you know, being able to repeat in your game, now the next step is equipment and learning when to use what and what to have in your arsenal, which these guys kind of have a little bit of a heads up on, knowing the equipment and knowing the new stuff the way they do. You still have to throw it, don't get me wrong, but it's great information to have.
No, if you were watching the left side of the screen there, all you had to do was watch Chris to know what was going to happen.
You saw how that ball slowed down and it hit dry boards, and, you know, they're basically trying to finesse it because they need the ball to recover. So they can't fire it through the break point. So they're really trying to be, you know, kind of a little bit of a soft hand, and that was just too soft.
So a little mini split here to deal with, and he'll get neither of them. So let's see what an open frame in the 9th will do to who wins this match.
Well, it actually gives CJ the ability to throw the next 4 strikes and shut him out, which sounds really ludicrous after the bowling that we've saw, but it's also not that easy to throw 4 strikes on this. I mean, he's going to have to take one at a time and just be solid.
And he will not get it there. Boy, it didn't take very long for the oil pattern to be named later to come back and bite these guys a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to continually evolve. They're playing the same part of the lane. They're both throwing balls that are going to drag the oil down a little bit, and it's going to change the shot, and transition's going to be going on while they're bowling. So we're seeing the result of that in live time.
So that's another open. So both guys go open in the 9th frame. I vote for calling it the Nawojski, but I'm not sure that I have the final say on all of that.
Don't name something hard after me.
Oh, that's true. You're right. People will be cursing you based on that, so we don't want that. All right, so CJ had that chance to put it away, and now he's just trying to stay alive.
I'm tough
here.
and difficult.
No, I'm absolutely not. It's to honor you and your incredible skill and prowess.
No, I'm tough and difficult. And you called it.
That was not. But I stepped in that somehow, and I don't even know how I did it. So. So last fill ball here for CJ Buttery, and it just did not, he could never get himself in a rhythm, and it's just a 171 for CJ Buttery. So all he needs to do is knock some pins down. He does. He gets 10 of them, and Chris Weiler is our first winner at the Beat the Champ Invitational. Weiler and Dewitt, match 2 next. Match number 2, it's Sam Dewitt III to take on Chris Weiler. And Sue, I wonder if Chris's 190 to 171 victory might be indicative of the kind of scores we get because of this challenging oil pattern.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, because I'm guessing that Sam has seen patterns like this, you know, every weekend when he goes and bowls regionals and stuff like that. He's probably most experienced on this type of condition.
And it'll be a spare opportunity for Chris to get things started here in match number 2. You know, I mentioned the winner of our Beat the Champ Invitational gets the Healy Miller Trophy. And if you're not familiar with who that's named after, Chuck Healy and Van Miller, legendary Buffalo sportscasters on Channel 4 WIVB, were the original hosts of this show that goes back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And Chuck and Van were the hosts, and that is why the trophy is named the Healy Miller Trophy. And aside from what they did on this show, both guys were legendary Hall of Fame level sportscasters. Of course, Van Miller, the longtime voice of the Buffalo Bills. And here's Sam Dewitt, 37 years old from Pittsburgh. And if you are even a casual viewer of our show, the name will resonate right away because no one has been more successful on this show than the Steel City Striker.
Right, and again, his experience really brought him to that. And in this particular shot, man, he really opened the lane up and could not recover enough.
But that's not quite the start that the Steel City Striker would have preferred to get things going. But I guess you get your opens out of the way early here after he left a very challenging spare there. So these are just season 2 numbers for Sam Dewitt. He qualified for 7 shows. He won 6 times, including 5 weekly Beat the Champ wins. That's just season number 2 for Sam. Tell you about the overall numbers for him when he comes back around.
One thing, Sam, is he's a thinker. You know, like every shot's being analyzed, and you know that although it hit the pocket, he's looking at that going like, okay, now what do I got to do to get that corner pin out? He wanted to use the ball that matches his shirt. He wore that shirt. He started with that ball, and he quickly changed to a different ball in the left lane.
You know, and leave it to Sam to come bring out the industrial grade fan. Everybody's got the little portable ones. Sam brings out the hurricane level wind fan there to stay cool. It might have blown the last hairs off of Chris Weiler's head. It's so strong. And this time it'll be the 7-pin left for Chris Weiler.
Not bad at all.
We've had a fun month here in the 300 at Transit Lanes. Despite the name, we did not have any 300s. We only had one on our history of the show, but this would be the place to have it. Although, based on the oil patterns we threw at these guys, there was very little chance of that.
That would be quite a feat.
But I don't think they want to name it the 240 at Transit Lanes.
Doesn't have the same ring.
It does not have the same ring. Chris Weiler has won a Buffalo Bowlers tournament title in his career, 8 ABT championships, a number of other high-level victories for Chris Weiler. Aside from being the pro shop guy at the Town Edge Bowling Center, he is an accomplished bowler in his own right. Third frame. That's the definition of a ring 10, isn't it?
It sure is. They don't call this a challenging condition for nothing. It's challenging.
Do you have to reset your mind a little bit? Like, you know, again, we told you Chris Weiler won with a 190. That's not generally the kind of score that Chris Weiler expects to throw when he shows up at any bowling center. Do you have to sort of flip your brain a little bit to think, okay, I'm okay. I might not be at 230 today, but I'm going to be okay.
I think you know that. You know that going in. It's still dictated by you're going to watch your opponent practice, and as long as they're doing, having the same thing that you have, then all you got to do is beat them by a pin, right? So you want to make shots, and you want to make your. Don't want to say it. You want to make your spares, but the thing is when you work so hard to get the ball in the pocket, you really want to be rewarded for it. It makes those good shots when you ring a 10, something like that, just a little bit harder to swallow because getting it there is not as easy as it normally is.
Missed it. Open in the third for Chris Weiler. So overall, in 2 seasons of our show, Sam Dewitt is #1 in total wins at 7. He is #1 in longest winning streak at 6. That was at the end of season 1 into our first matches here in season 2. And the most amazing stat to me for Sam is he has been in 8 title games. Championship on the line, 7-1.
Oop, turn that around.
Won't go. It sure did do about a half the way around 180. It just didn't come down. So again, there is a reason. The only kind of stat that Sam Dewitt isn't at the top of in our show is number of appearances. That's Mike Sarkona's been on more shows, but no one has won more and been more successful on the show than Sam Dewitt.
You know, and that's a product of distance. I mean, he is coming a long way, and he has
Right.
to, you know, set it up to, you know, be able to.
And he's had
get
conflicts
home.
with some of the regional events that he bowls
Right.
in as well too. So Sam went open in the first, spares in the second and third. Sam's an Air Force veteran, and he works as a material handler at the VA hospital in Pittsburgh. Sam made a little change there, didn't he?
Well, we didn't get to see the shot to see how different he was playing the lanes, but we will here. Instead of hooking the lane, he is going straight up the boards. He's going to take the margin for error right out of it.
Boy, there was one pin that literally went over the top of, I think, the 4 or the 5 there. So it's another spare, and again, I think we haven't seen a strike yet. I know we will, but this is not going to be about striking potential. So Chris Weiler, coming off that open in the third, will try to reset himself here. There's the see. As soon as I said it, we get our first strike.
Little delayed reaction, but there it was.
That gets the crowd fired up. See if it gets Chris even more fired up. And Sam with a smile as he looks on.
Pesky 10 pin.
Yeah, yep. It's interesting to me. I enjoy watching how kind of locked in and focused Chris is in his pre-shot routine.
Yeah, you got to take the pocket hits. You just have to. And if you're sacrificing a little bit of carry, this isn't going to be a 250 to 240 match, and you don't want to give up the pocket in a one game match. You know, so you know it's just important that he fills this frame.
Yet another spare opportunity for Chris Weiler, and he knew it right away, and he gets it. That'll take us to a timeout. We'll take a break. We're midway through match number 2 on our way to crowning a new champion of the Beat the Champ Invitational.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends,
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
we are
The Bowling Proprietors.
of Western New York.
Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
Fifth frame now for Sam Dewitt III. And Sam gets his first strike.
So Sam opted to follow Chris, and I think that's what he turned around and laughed at him and said, see, I can do it too, and change how he was approaching the lane and move to the area that Chris is playing. And just interesting to just real quickly check out his hand position here where he's setting up the ball, how he's to the side of it like that. I mean, that tells you that he's taking his hand out of the ball and really just going up the back of the ball, trying to play him straight. Still got a little bit too much on that.
So is the fact that some of these guys are making these moves to get a little straighter just because they're not getting the hook that they normally would expect to get?
It's because the lanes aren't conducive to throwing the ball like that. The best, it's because of difficulty of the lane. You're trying to cross all those boards, even though that's his A game, and I think it's Chris's A game too, to be honest with you. But it's who's going to be able to play where you need to play better. And in this case, right now, this shot is playing right and more straight up. And so the people that can change their game and do it best, I mean, the best can hook the fourth arrow and they can play straight up the gutter if they have to. And that's what makes them great.
All right, sixth frame now. Chris is coming off that strike spare combo in 4 and 5, much like Sam Dewitt is as well. And a late tap of the 10 sends it down and gets Chris Weiler a strike. That's the first good pin break I think we've seen in a while.
It is real important love tap there. So now he has an opportunity to take command of this match by actually carrying on this lane. It's not because he's made bad shots. He's left 10 pins the last 2 times up.
Back-to-back strikes in 6 and 7 from Chris Weiler have put some pressure on Sam Dewitt III as he gets ready to go in the 7th frame. And nobody responds to the pressure better than Sam Dewitt does.
What we aren't used to seeing on Beat the Champ here is someone just change their approach to the game mid-game like this guy did. I mean, he just abandoned his first choice of how to play the lanes and changed his hand position, moved to the right, and has done it well.
So can he match Chris Weiler with a double? 8th frame. No. 4 pins. Sticks.
The difference is Chris tripped that 4-pin on his last shot. Came in a little high, tripped the 4, 7-10. Not so lucky for Sam. He left that 4.
Sam gets the spare instead of that opportunity at the double. So now working a double, here's a great opportunity for Chris Weiler to take control in the 8th frame. Winner of this match to take on Justin Wyman for us to crown our Beat the Champ Invitational winner. And a nice slide over. Gives it 3 in a row for Chris Weiler.
He's got a couple good pin cushions here. That was another tight 1-3, and in this case, he got some pin action that took that 10 out.
Yeah, love the reaction from Chris Weiler. So now, Chris Weiler with 3 strikes in a row, focusing on the 9th frame.
That was a good break there too, getting the 10 out, because he doesn't want to have any opens right now. He's got a 19-pin cushion.
And, yep, and a sleeper is enough to deal with here.
Yep, that's right.
And again, Chris has been around this enough to know that he's got that lead. Just try to be safe and don't let a great opponent back into this. This is a big shot right here. And he gets them both. No matter what happens here, Sam Dewitt does win our award for Best Beat the Champ Story of Season 2, and that's when he told us he went to a tournament in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and a complete and total stranger at the bowling center came up to him and said, "Hey, aren't you Sam Dewitt III, the Steel City striker from Beat the Champ?" And that's a pretty cool moment for us to understand the reach of this show, that strangers in Louisiana are recognizing Sam Dewitt. And his family is here cheering on the Steel City striker.
So now what Sam has done is he's created a situation where if he doubles, he's going to force Chris to have to double. He needs this one here, though.
Boy, for as up and down as this match has been, to be in position to do that is classic Sam Dewitt.
Oh, 4-pin again. That's trouble.
Boy, everything looked good, didn't it?
Yeah. Same shot as last time, just came off the dry too hard.
So one more shot for Sam Dewitt to post up a score.
Yeah, Chris isn't going to need too many pins.
Yeah, I don't think so. And again, in our toughest test of the year has been a bit of a test of attrition for the bowlers. It's a 184, certainly well below the usual scores we see from Sam Dewitt. And now that leaves Chris Weiler with only needing 5 pins. He needs 5. He gets 8, and Chris Weiler will bowl Justin Wyman for the Beat the Champ Invitational. It's next. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
Chris Weiler and Justin Wyman, one of them is going to be the Beat the Champ Invitational winner and take home our biggest prize ever of over $2,000. And hoist the Healy Miller Trophy. It's our championship match, and Justin Wyman, 42 years old from Rochester, will get it started. He was the top qualifier in that long, grueling 14 games of qualifying that took place. And it's a strike to get things started for Justin Wyman.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to tell him a whole lot. He wasn't really looking for a Brooklyn strikes trip.
That felt like an adrenaline kind of shot there, didn't it? So Chris Weiler has 1-2 to get here with winning scores of 203 and 190. Is that about what you expected based on the really tough oil pattern we have here?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you just have to beat your opponent. Great shot there.
Strikes for both guys. Yes, the opponents for Chris in both matches were 184 and 171. So they struggled even more. The 203 and the 190 were 20 pin victories in that case. Right? Not about what you score, but by how much you win by. Frame 2 for Chris Weiler. Good start.
All right, look at there.
Yeah, the two competitors.
Brothers in Brooklyn.
Yes, both of them pro shop owners. So there's a connection between the two of them, and guys that have known each other for a long time, and I think are genuinely rooting for each other.
Well,
here.
hey, I think it's all fun and games until they go back to that lane and try to figure out how to hit the pocket on it.
Right. So again, you do need a little luck sometimes in this sport, and that's
yeah,
pretty
those are
much
pretty
what
errant
happened.
shots, though. Neither of them were looking to go Brooklyn on that lane.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they handle that going forward.
Second frame for Justin Wyman. Let's see if he can get it back over the river into Manhattan there from the Brooklyn side.
Oh.
So you only needed to make one show during season 2 to be eligible for the Beat the Champ Invitational. That's all Justin did. He made one show at the ABC Gates Bowl last month. He's made 2 shows in his career, one in each of the first 2 seasons. But that's all it took to be one of the 81 eligible bowlers to make it to this Final Four cutdown. And then Justin had the top score barely by just a couple of pins. So he didn't have to bowl until now.
His first game out of the gate was like 270 something, I believe, and he did lead the qualifying for quite a bit of it. So kind of a good feel for the house.
Our host center for Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart, is Transit Lanes, and you can follow them online at transitlanes.net. They're just one of our many great host centers. And if you want details on how to be a part of Beat the Champ, just stop in at any of the host centers and ask how you can be on the show, and we might be seeing you here on the lanes when Season 3 kicks in this fall. Oh, boy, another big late
back-to-back
hook.
5 pins.
Justin's at least laughing about it. So again, struggling to find the right spot to get your hook. It was an example there of that one being really late. So another 5 pin for the spare.
All right, well, Reese is leaving easy spares.
Chris Weiler, again, the owner of the pro shop at the Town Edge Bowling Center, one of our host centers. Justin Wyman owns a pro shop in the Rochester area, not far from the ABC Gates Bowl, one of our host centers. So you got a whole summer to gear yourself up to try to qualify and make the show next year. Next fall, rather, next season.
Oh.
What happened on this one?
It's a good shot. Good shot just to
Bad break.
I mean, yeah, you can't really make a move off that. I mean, it hit a little soft, but 6 still went around the 10. I mean, it was a pretty good shot, and it's not that easy to get to the pocket. You gotta get there.
So it's a spare in the third frame for Chris Weiler. In his first appearance on our show in season 1, Justin Wyman was the victim of the only 300 bowled here on Beat the Champ in 2 seasons. So after Chris Weiler started with strikes in the first 2 frames, that the third frame clinches that won't happen again.
Right.
Yeah, Stephen Conklin in the year number 1 at the Rapids Bowling Center, the only bowler to throw a 300 so far here on Beat the Champ. Fourth frame now for Chris. Locked in, focused.
I figured both these guys would have a little bit of trouble when they tried to adjust off that Brooklyn strike, so he tried to get that a little bit more right, get it to the gutter, and it did not snap back as much as he would have liked. So,
yep, so he's staring down at a sleeper spare here is Chris Weiler. Trying to at least keep things strikes and spares so far. Got it. And now it's Justin's turn in the fourth frame. In addition to his work at the pro shop level, Justin also involved in event production, including some bowling broadcasting and some high-level, high-energy dance shows. And so Justin's involved in a lot of stuff and does a great job with all of it. He stays busy. Somehow finds just enough time to bowl a little bit.
yeah, that really looked to me like a good shot off his hand, but that was a ball change, and he obviously went to something weaker, and that never recovered. I think he's loving his ball reaction right now. He's kind of fishing between equipment.
So a little challenging spare here in the fourth frame for Justin Wyman.
This is where Chris has to kind of adjust his mindset, and this is the mind games of this sport. Is you see that your person you're bowling is fishing around and doesn't really have a whole lot, and Chris has a pretty good shot to the pocket, so he just has to stay calm and stay with his game.
All right, so that's our first open frame of this championship match, and it was Justin Wyman in the fourth. And again, Chris just has to sit and watch and hope that that doesn't happen to him, and he just keeps knocking pins down. This feels like a little bit of a battle of attrition here, you know, in this match and in the previous 2. And again, that's what happens when you throw probably the hardest oil pattern that we've had on our show, period, in 2 years. And that one with the second bump goes down for Justin Wyman. We take a timeout. When we come back, we will crown a new Beat the Champ Invitational champion.
Yeah, bowling. Such a well-oiled machine of mischief for the masses. The Egyptians made bowling the sport of pharaohs, and yet bowling said, no, I am for him, for her, even that guy. Yeah, don't do that. You light the stage for us. You bring the encouragement, and all you ask in return? What's your shoe size? Don't go boring. Go bowling.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
Fifth frame now for Chris Weiler. There's a nice strike, his first since the second frame.
That's
so
exactly what he wanted right there.
You know, again, this is a championship match. This is kind of a big deal. This is pretty sizable money, over $2,000 to the winner. What's the pressure level that these guys are dealing with right now?
Well, the pressure level is a little...
Compared to a normal, either
Right.
one of our normal shows or just a normal tournament that they may be bowling in.
Well, the pressure level is a little higher on the person that is fishing, and right now Justin's the one fishing. Chris just has to bowl his game because right now he's pretty lined up. He just has to make decent shots. He knows where he's playing. He's got the right ball in his hand. And he knows his partner, the person he's bowling, is a little bit lost.
And you can see the look on his face as that 9-pin did not go down.
Well, that's it. He just made a great shot and got nothing for it. Because that would have been a great place for a double.
Wow. Talk about a reaction. Yeah, that would have been an opportunity for the double, which he did have in the first two frames.
Because you don't want to let Justin back in. I mean, Justin got a lucky strike, tripped a 2-pin, but that doesn't mean that Justin can't get up and, you know, throw a great shot and get the double. That's going to tighten this match right up.
Spare in the sixth for Chris Weiler. And now Justin trying to double it up after that strike in the fifth.
I mean, Chris just has to keep making shots. He's in the right place with the right ball. He just has to keep making shots. The rest he can't control. I mean, he's got a 23-pin lead, so filling frames and making good shots is okay.
That is back-to-back strikes for Justin Wyman.
And that's what Justin has to do. He has to take that lucky break he got in the left lane and capitalize on it, which he did.
That's his first double of this match. And just an opportunity, because we're obviously coming to the end here of season 2, just to thank everyone, the host centers, the folks that have come out, and just bowling fans in general that watch us wherever they watch us, for supporting our show. We've had a lot of fun, you and I, of being a part of this. We've seen it grow. We've seen these guys be recognized in places not in the Western New York or upstate New York area, and that's just a tribute to people liking this show and wanting to be a part of this show. And that has been awesome, and we thank everyone for it, and our sponsors as well, because we couldn't do it without them. That's 3 in a row for Justin Wyman after he comes back from that open frame.
So Justin's been fishing around with equipment. He's using different balls on each lane. And that worked out for him right there.
So now, Chris with a pretty good lead that you mentioned, Sue, all of a sudden has to look over there and go, my lead's not so big anymore.
Nope.
Well, that's how you match that up. 8th frame for Chris Weiler, looking for a double to maintain his edge.
Got that there
Whatever
too
noise you just
early.
made, that was a noise that was not meant you didn't love what you saw.
No, he got it to the break point too early. That was gonna bounce off that and definitely go high. And leave a difficult spare.
All right, you see what Chris has to pull down here. The 310. And he will only get the 10. So a critical open frame in the 8th with Justin Wyman working a triple really changes the dynamic here.
It does. I mean, this is the match that you would expect from these two, but you do see the mental ups and downs of this game. I mean, as soon as Justin posts up a 3-bagger, all of a sudden Chris's swing gets a little bit tighter, and where he had, you know, a really good shot, he tightened right up. And Justin gets to, you know, has pretty much taken the lead with a good shot here.
8th frame now. He's got 3 strikes in a row as Justin Wyman. Boy, a bang of the 10, but not enough to get it down. Watch that pin fly over and wobble the 10.
And it jumped, the 10-pin jump.
It sure did jump. You could see wood, the wood of the pit underneath that pin, couldn't you? Spare in the 8th for Justin Wyman.
So we've got a pretty tight match here, 8-pin difference.
You know, the one thing we really haven't had a lot of this month here at Trans Lanes is close matches that came down to the 10th frame. We really haven't had a lot of them. They were either decided before that or enough of a margin that it didn't matter. So I guess it seems appropriate that to crown a champion here for our season, we're going to come right down to the end. 9th frame now for Justin Wyman, down 8 pins.
Wow.
Wow is right. That is not how it was drawn up, but the results are still a strike. And I think the reaction you saw from Justin was he knew that wasn't how he planned to do it.
No, and that is that's a frame that a strike is just big. 9th frame strike going into the 10th, that is big.
So now Chris Weiler will finish out here.
Because of that strike, though, Chris cannot shut him out.
And he comes back with a strike of his own. Boy, the fun part about it is these are two veteran guys,
yeah,
and they are not succumbing to the pressure. They are rising to the occasion of the pressure. 10th frame now. And this is where that decision 15 minutes ago as to who's finishing what comes up critically.
Yep, they both got lucky breaks in the 9th, and who's going to make it work for them is right here.
I don't think the 10-pin got quite as much air that time, but it did wiggle a little bit.
It came in late. Now he's already down 8 pins, so that's really opened the door to Justin just to match whatever Chris does.
A trophy A first place check of $2,250 is on the line right here. Missed it. And that's a critical mistake for Chris Weiler because his final score only is 183. And Justin Wyman is that close to winning the Beat the Champ Invitational. Deep breath, calm yourself down. All you need are 6 pins. And he gets all 10. And Justin Wyman grabs the Healy Miller Trophy. He is the Beat the Champ Invitational winner. Justin Wyman comes out on top. We'll talk to Justin when we come back right after this.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends.
Great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
We are the Bowling Proprietors
of Western New York.
Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. And by the Bowling Proprietors Association of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today. Justin Wyman, hold up that trophy. You're the Beat the Champ Invitational winner. Thanks for watching all season long. It's Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart. He is holding the trophy because Justin Wyman is our Beat the Champ Invitational winner. I feel like you need to take a big old exhale, don't you?
Yeah, the anxiety is the hardest thing to combat out here, under the lights. And this is my office, and I've been doing television shows now for 9 years. And one of the goals was to win something on TV. And now I have. So, now I got to set some other goals. So
I'm sure you'll find goals, right? We're not worried about that with him, are we?
No, but you've been a part of this since day one. I mean, from the day we walked through the doors, this whole setup here has been because of you, and you led us in the beginning. And so this seems to be full circle to bring you back here today.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me at some point that I would have won the Invitational, that would have been like, oh yeah, okay. But no, it was one heck of a ride. Yesterday, 6 games of qualifying, 8 games of round robin, and then out here. So managing all of that physically and mentally, it's a challenge, and I rose to it, and here we are. So
yeah, it was fun to see you and Chris match up. You guys have known each other. You both are pro shop guys. You both live this sport as your professions. What was the key to just kind of muddling your way a little better than Chris in this one?
I got to give Chris all the credit in the world, man. He threw shots. I got 2 really lucky breaks going Brooklyn, that last one to carry. I mean, it would have been a different situation if that would have left something. So in this game, you're throwing a round object at round objects, and anything can happen. And there's 10 frames, so it was fun because Chris and I bowled each other the last 3 games of this tournament. So we were the last matchup for Game 7, and then we bowled each other in the position round, and then we bowled each other on TV. So it was fun. We bowled 3 games together. So
bowling is your life, whether it's on the pro shop side, on the television production side. What's this feeling like for you right now? Now it's on the actual bowling side of things.
My performance side of bowling has been far lacking compared to the other facets of that, pro shop and TV production and things. That's science and that's predictable, and that I can figure out any problem and solve it pretty much. This, you got an invisible oil, you've got a round object at round objects, anything can happen. And that's the most maddening part of it for me, is I can sit in there and say, this ball hit that target, we'll do that, and it doesn't. So that's been, a huge part of it. And I want to thank Kenny Moscato. We've bowled together for years, and he's tried to knock my head off my shoulders. There's been many times people have said, $1 million arm, 10-cent head. And we've been working a lot on mental game and stuff and getting things, a full picture of what it should be. You can throw it as good as you want, but it doesn't matter. You got to have something to back it up. I want to thank my crew that go out on the road with me and set these TV shows up all over the country. It wouldn't happen without them. It's just crazy to be in so many facets of the bowling industry, and it's the industry. I love this industry, and I try to advance it as much as I can in all facets. And this one's personal. The other ones, are kind of for everybody else. But
right, hold that one up, and no one knows which camera to hold it up better than you do.
Well,
so hold it up. Right, all right, well then we're going to hold it up to Neil's camera, and there you go. Again, congratulations, Justin. We've had the pleasure of working with you. Sue and I have learned so much from you on the television side, on the bowling side. It's rare that you get a chance to see somebody that you work with like this all of a sudden hop onto the field and score a touchdown. That doesn't often happen, right, Sue?
True, absolutely. It's
yeah,
been
so
fun.
we're really happy for you. We're excited, and you put on a good show. Thank you for everything that you've done to help make our lives a little bit better.
And here we close the chapter on season 2 of Beat the Champ, which has turned out to be a phenomenal show. Shouts to Joe Chacon for getting this thing going. We've been working on it for a bit, and he's the driving force behind it. He got everybody together, and it's been one heck of a ride. We got 64 episodes now as of right now, and looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. And thank you guys for everything that you do. And Dave Ross, Kenny on camera. These guys, they show up and they do it for us, and not a lot of times. I mean, I work on all facets of this. I can't really shout out my pro shop guy because I drill my own balls, but thanks to the crew and everybody that makes this happen. And let's enjoy it.
Are we gonna we're not gonna make him load the truck today?
Really?
Well,
of course he is.
Oh, all right. Well, then again, get to work. You got to load the truck. Hey, thank you, Justin, for a great show. Thanks to everybody involved in the Beat the Champ Invitational. Thanks for everybody that's involved in this show, being a part of it all season long. We have had a ball. Season 2 wraps up. Can't wait to see you again for Season 3. That's going to come your way in the fall. Thank you for supporting the show all year long. This is Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart.